is now time for our feature presentation.
And for our finale, our final review of the night, the 2003 French horror film, High Tension.
Marie, Papa, Papa, Marie. Gute Nacht, Monsieur.
Dann schlaft schön.
For starters, I saw this when this came out as a kid. This came out in 2003, I would have been 9. I think we rented it from Blockbuster. I watched it with my parents. And I remember going, holy fucking shit. And I grew up remembering this movie. Every time I think of French horror films, I've always thought of this. And when I announced the tournament, I knew I wanted to come back to this movie. I remember hating the film, watching it now as an adult, and I liked it a lot better going back to it. Very, very, very flawed at some points, and I will tell you what parts I thought were flawed, but much better than I remembered as a kid. Dwayne, your thoughts?
So, like I said, I'd heard about this movie, but I'd never watched it. And then I watched it for the tournament here, and I liked the movie. I really did. There, like you said, there's some flaws.
Oh yeah.
I know you're gonna go into that here in a minute, but I think it was written well. I think the actors did a really good job.
Yes, they did.
The special effects, some of the kills were really good.
Yeah, one in
Really
particular, well loved.
Oh, there's one I really liked, but there are some flaws with the movie. So I'll let you go with that.
Okay, let me sink my teeth and do this. The flaws bothered me as a kid too, and I'm sure Taser gets annoyed because I love to poke holes in fucking movies, and boy, this one had a lot of holes by the end. So the movie starts with two girls, and they are going to the one girl's family's house, and as they're driving up there, you kind of cuts to a scene of a man getting some head, and it turns out he's getting head from a severed head in his trunk. He tosses severed head out the window. I remember watching that as a kid, like, holy shit, that fucking stuck with me. By the way, like that always, Anyway, so the two teen girls finally get to her family's house, and she introduces her to the family, and they all go up to bed. And then, that night, the guy who was getting head from the severed head comes to their house and starts waylaying. He kills the girl. He kills her family. He kills her mother, her brother, and her father, and very viciously. He shoots the little boy in the cornfield. He slits the mother's throat and then cuts her hands off too. Like, god damn. And the father got the worst of all. He slashed his face across the face, and he shoved his head through like a stairway railing, and then used like a piano or this very heavy thing and knocked his head off. Holy fuck. It was brutal. And then he like chained up the girl, the daughter of the family, and like gagged her with, what did he gag her with?
I forget.
It looked like it kind of looked like a thing like a bicycle chain that you'd lock it up with or something.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't like a towel gag. It was like some kind of like really heavy duty gag he had on her. And then the girl who she's friends with, she's the star, and the guy locks her friend up in the truck, and she sneaks in the truck with her. They go to a gas station, and the guy gets out of she manages to escape the truck and runs to the gas station trying to get the guy to help her. And then the guy comes in there and kills the gas station guy. And then they kind of chase, and anyway. So at the very end, she kills the bad guy, and she goes to unchain her buddy. And her buddy's like afraid of her. She stabs her. She goes, "What are you doing?" And then it turns out that the girl was the killer the whole time, which is a cool twist. Where the fuck did she get the truck?
Who drove the truck if she's chained up with her? Who was getting head in the other truck? Why was it even in there if she's the killer?
How did the truck get to the house? Oh my god, this is was the twist good?
Yes.
Yeah. But if you have a fucking plot hole this fucking big, it kind of like, how was she known to get the truck there? I don't know. And A, how did she lift that big ass like piano to smash dude's head off? Also, another thing, if she was the killer the whole time, the whole second half of the movie where they were chasing each other was kind of pointless, was it not?
Yeah.
It's just her doing a circle, like a fucking, like if you ever you play PlayStation, your analog's kind of broke, and then it kind of stuck in a corner, and then your character's doing circles nonstop. That's what she would have been doing. And knowing that, it would have been really high, I thought, if it wasn't for the twist with the plot hole. Maybe if you fix the plot hole, maybe no truck or something, like everything took place on the farm. Possibly. We could talk about that then. But I don't know. I don't know. The gore was great. The writing, except the plot holes, was good. Character development, not really that good. They had like a few talking scenes up until they get to the house, but you didn't learn anything about them.
That was the other thing. This movie was dubbed,
Yeah.
yet half the talking is in English and the other half's in French with subtitles at the bottom. So did they not just do all one way, or I don't know.
Yeah, one thing they did that was good is you can kind of tell that the main character had feelings for the other girl.
Yeah.
Because she was like calling her a slut for sleeping with some dudes. And you could it kind of hinted that she had feelings for her the whole time. And I kind of felt like that was the
Motivation?
maybe motivation, or the whole how the monster was created was her deep feelings for her. However, I don't know, there wasn't enough character development, I felt, to really care about that. Or, maybe they should have had more 20 minutes of bonding time or something. They had a little bit, maybe like 5 minutes worth, but I didn't feel like it was enough. Also, the killer that, they did have an actor play the killer who you thought was the killer. He looked like the Honky Tonk Man a little bit. He had the sideburns. I mean, this is like today Honky Tonk Man, not back in his prime. I was like, I told you, he's like, it's a fucking Honky Tonk Man. She don't know who that is, but I did, and so I got a good kick out of that. But boy, that did hurt the film for me. That twist, I knew the twist going in, so I was able to enjoy it much better on my second viewing. Even though the whole time I'm like, what the fuck? How are they going to explain that? Yeah, and they didn't. I'm surprised she lived though, because she got stabbed twice at the end. She got stabbed in the chest, and then she got stabbed through the neck, or
right around the neck, I think.
Yeah, with the crowbar, which is pretty vicious. Dwayne, any final thoughts?
No, like you're saying, I was really invested in this movie. I liked it, and then they had that plot, the twist, and I'm like you said, well, how the hell, if they're riding in a vehicle together, the two girls were to their house, how did that killer's truck get there all of a sudden?
Yeah.
And then if they're riding together in the back of the truck, or to the gas station, how was the one girl, the killer, she's riding in the back of the truck? So there's a lot of unexplained
there's
horrible
a car
couples.
chase
Yeah.
with her, the killer, and she's the killer the whole time.
How's
she doing that?
Yeah.
Unless the whole thing was in her head, that part.
Yeah. I mean, it's a good movie. I liked it. There was a lot of stuff unexplained that you're like, well, what the F, how that happened. But besides that, some really good kills. That circular saw kill, that was my favorite in that movie.
Yeah.
The poor little guy just driving up, and the girl's like, I need help, and then the killer comes along with a big old circular saw and starts cutting through the car, and then getting the guy and everything.
Why didn't he move though?
Why did he drive the car away? I don't know. They have to make a movie, so that's hey, let's kill somebody else really viciously who's left to pay some poor guy driving along the road. But that was a very bloody kill on that one there.
Yeah.
And I liked it. If you try not to talk about the plot holes, it was a better movie.
Yes.
But because the plot holes, it dropped it down a little bit.
Also, another plot hole. When the killer walked in, he said, "Hey Jimmy," to the gas station guy. How is she known his name? Unless he had a name tag, but I don't think he did.
I don't remember that. Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, all that was in her head. So maybe she made up a name for him. Here's what I would have done. I wouldn't have left the farm. What do you think?
Sure.
You can't, there's no truck the killer drives because there's no killer besides her. I think that could have made the film. I think the plot twist was great because they even hinted at it when her and her friend came into the house. They left a key in the door. She saw that, and so when the killer came to the house, he knew the key was in the door. That was a great foreshadowing that she was the killer. So I think the twist would have been great if they never left the farm. I thought the movie was really good. I know Tasia and I were really invested in it. Out of all of the 3 films we reviewed today, I say this one might be my favorite. However, with a plot hole that goddamn big, it did knock my score way down. Dwayne, what are you giving it?
So I'm gonna go with a 6. Mm-hmm. Like you said, I was really enjoying it, and then the plot twist happened. I was like, well, that's pretty cool. But then as the movie was over, I started thinking more about it. I was like, how the heck did this happen? How did this happen? I was going almost with an 8, but I'm going to drop it down to 6 because even though it was a good movie, great kills, great everything else, like I said, it just kind of was a bummer. I said I thought I was going to do a lot better with it, but I think it's going to drop it down to about 6.
Yes, if a few, this movie with a few tweakings, I would agree. I would have given it an 8 if you just tweaked it a bit. One thing I love though is the final scene when the girls are at the mental hospital, the main character, who was the killer, she's kind of like locked up in a room, and then the girl who lived is behind a mirror, and she goes, "Can she see me?" She goes, "Oh, the cop's like, no, she can't see you." She goes, "Okay." And then the girl knows she's there. I love that. That was fucking great. Great ending to the movie. I would, possibly 8, 9 if that wasn't for the plot holes. So, that being said, I'm giving this movie a 6 out of 10.